Anyway, folks, we are here executing assigned host duties flawlessly, zero mistakes. Everybody in the Washington establishment, these people are on a roller coaster, and in a way you have to feel sorry for them. Like, this is Thursday. Again, I can't believe two things, Thursday and October 1st. It just does not seem like October 1st. And as I say here, one of the reasons why, the heat index right now, let me see what it is. Heat index 97. It feels like 97 degrees out there. That just doesn't jive with October 1st. So that's when we here sort of start getting smug now about the fact that it doesn't really get cold here. Anyway, it is October 1st, and all week long, the drive-by media and the inside the Beltway establishment have been on this roller coaster regarding Trump. And maybe even a little bit into last week. But before that, it is October 1st. A lot of them thought he was going to be gone by now. And many of them, and I'm including Republicans in this, Republican media types, conservative media types, elected officials, the entire inside Washington establishment. And you know why they thought Trump would be gone? They thought he would self-destruct. They thought everything he's doing would finally come home to roost. That he would wear out his welcome. People would get tired of the entertainment, get tired of the show, and would realize that he's not serious. And the American people want sincerity and seriousness in their presidents, and they would realize that Trump is not it, and they would throw him over. Or that Trump would have lost interest by now and had moved on to something else. And earlier this week, I was watching Fox, and some of the conservative intelligentsia were venturing forth to say he has peaked. It looks like they were guarded in their optimism. It looks like he's peaked. We can't say for sure, but then they winked and nodded. We've all known it was going to happen. We're the smart people. But today, just the exact opposite. We have here from USA Today, poll, Donald Trump still on top as Fiorina and Carson rise. Donald Trump has strengthened his lead at the top of the USA Today Suffolk University poll, while two other outsider candidates, Ben Carson and Carly Fiorina, have also gained ground over rivals with electoral experience. Jeb Bush has tumbled to single digits and is in fifth place. Now, given that later in the article, this story says some political analysts, including those in the latest USA Today GOP power rankings, see Trump as beginning to lose ground while scrutiny on him as a potential president intensifies. So in the same story, this is exactly my point. In the same story, the lead here, Trump has strengthened his lead in our poll. And then later on in their same story, some analysts, experts working for us, see Trump as beginning to lose ground while scrutiny on him intensifies. How do you have it both ways in the same story? How in the world do you publish a story talking about how he is strengthening, and at the end of the story, quote experts who say he is beginning to lose ground? Here is a quote from Ginger Mangum, 58, a customer service rep from Little Rock, who was among the people surveyed. Unfortunately, she says, I'm leaning toward Trump, but only because he's a non-political figure. Unfortunately, here's a woman in the survey admitting she's leaning to Trump, and she's really not crazy about it. What does that tell you? If that comment, if people want to attach any seriousness to this, any political professionals, this is devastating. People are voting for Trump or siding with Trump, even though they're not really excited about it because they so detest what has become of insider politics. But even at that, I have to point out as well that USA Today, part of the drive-by media, and it's funny to watch them go out and find a Trump supporter who actually doesn't like him. This is also part of the plan. See, I see this as a positive. If you're a Trumpster, you could see this as a positive. USA Today is trying to make like Trump supporters don't even really like him. I mean, why quote this woman? Of all the women they surveyed, all the people they surveyed, Trump's leading in the survey. Why quote a woman that doesn't even like him but is going to vote for him? That's how the drive-bys try to shape things and create attitudes among the readers. Now, I, as I say, take it as a positive. I mean, it doesn't even like the guy, not crazy about him, still leaning towards him. That is not good news for the establishment in any way, shape, manner, form. Now, even in this article, though, in this poll where Trump is increasing his lead, we have to hear this line, which is based on one single poll of 200 Republicans with a margin of error of 6.5%. Some political analysts, including those in the latest USA Today GOP power rankings, see Trump as beginning to lose ground, while scrutiny on him as a potential president intensifies. So that's my point. Even in an article about Trump increasing his lead, they have to put their qualifier in there. And they put it in for a whole host of reasons. A, maintain their good credit rating among other drive-bys, and to also do what they can to damage the reputation that Trump is building. But the whole establishment's still bamboozled by this. And just earlier this week, they thought they saw evidence that Trump was beginning to not just have peaked, but beginning to fall. And now Trump is back out on fire. Let's go to the audio sound bites. This is last night, Keene, New Hampshire. Trump at a town hall campaign type event had this to say about Syria.
I'm putting the people on notice that are coming here from Syria as part of this mass migration, that if I win, they're going back. They're going back.
They're going, and there was massive applause after this, just like the illegal immigrants from Central America are going back. So are these Syrian refugees going back. Here's more.
One of my opponents, not in a bad way, but in a very respectful way, said, the thing about Trump that's really hard, he's so damn unpredictable. We don't know what the hell he's going to do. And I said, I want to be unpredictable. I want to be. So when they ask me, and so does Patton, and so does MacArthur, and so does anybody that's smart. So when they ask me about, what do I want to do with Syria? I know what I want to do. Believe me, you're going to be happy. But I don't want to tell. I don't want them to say, oh, well, Trump's going to do this, so we'll do this. I want to be unpredictable.
There you have it. More common sense coming from somebody who wants to be commander-in-chief. Why give away the plan? Okay, you people in the media, you're demanding my plan on Syria because what you're trying to do is determine whether or not I'm smart enough to be president. You're trying to determine whether or not I'm taking it seriously. You're trying to determine whether or not I even care about this or even know where Syria is. And I'm telling you, it's none of your business right now. The people that need to be concerned about this are the Syrians and the Russians and the Iranians. They're the ones that need to be worried about what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to tell you so that they can find out. I'm going to be unpredictable. That's exactly what a leader in foreign policy must be in situations like this. Unless, now there are advantages to being predictable, and that is if you carry a huge stick and you walk tall and you're no nonsense. I mean, that kind of reputation is fine to have going in. But individual policy decisions and where to take what kind of action, always keep that close to the vest. Finally, a comment here about Bush and Marco Rubio.
Bush is the mentor. Everybody said Rubio will never run because it would be disrespectful to his mentor. And I understand that. That's called loyalty, right? That's sort of nice, right? You're loyal. I believe in that. He runs. And they ask Bush, what do you think of Rubio? He's my dear friend. He's so wonderful. I love him so much. Then they ask Rubio, what do you think of Bush? Oh, he's my dear friend. Wonderful, just one. They hate each other. They hate. Trust me, I know. They hate so much. They hate more than anybody in this room hates their neighbor. But it's political bull.
Oh, whoa, hold on. That's launching both barrels. He's saying, here come these two guys, and they put on a great, I love Marco. Oh, I love Jeb. Oh, we owe so much to each other. And Trump says that's BS. They hate each other. Jeb hates Rubio for doing this. Jeb thinks that Rubio's stabbing him in the back by doing this. Rubio thinks Jeb's old news has no business doing this. They both have mutual disgust for one another. Crowd erupts. So naturally, on CNN, Anderson Cooper 360, they played a clip of Dana Bash speaking with Jeb Bush after a town hall campaign in Bedford, New Hampshire. During the Q&A, Bush says, Donald Trump says the friendship between you and Marco Rubio is not a real friendship or relationship and that you really hate each other. Is that true?
I'm pretty sure Marco can put his big boy pants on. I know I can, and we're friends, and I can take criticism. He can as well. Donald seems to have a harder time taking criticism, and he probably needs to put on his big boy pants, too. He's running for president of the United States. He ought to take a little income, and he's great at giving it out.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure Marco can put his big boy pants on. Let's just move on to today's show today. Matt Lauer is interviewing Jeb. And Matt Lauer, there's a couple of questions about the frontrunner Donald Trump. First of all, his comments on those Syrian refugees overnight, saying that if he wins, they're going back. What's your response to that, Mr. Bush?
That's a horrible thing. He also said that he supported Putin's activity in Syria and that Assad is worth supporting compared to ISIS. I think we need to have a strategy to deal with both these evil forces. And the idea that you would send back refugees, when in American history has that ever happened? We have to stand for certain values. And Mr. Trump either doesn't have a sense of history about American values or doesn't care about them. Either way, it's wrong.
Man, I tell you, this is still caught in the middle here. This is just... I'm afraid Trump does get it. What these people don't understand, this country is being overrun. The perception is it's being overrun, and these are not the cream of the crop that are coming here. It may, in fact, be members of ISIS that are coming here as refugees. I got to take a break. There's one more Jeb Bush bite to go where he says he's going to emulate the McCain campaign. We'll see. Get to that in a minute here. I know, I got to get to the phones here pretty quickly. I haven't had a phone call yet. Just here's the final Jeb Bush bite. This is Today's Show today with Matt Lauer. And the question, how do you're losing in the polls here. You're losing to the host of Celebrity Apprentice, Governor Bush. How do you get your arms around that?
In October of 8 years ago, John McCain was by himself in an Atlanta airport. I was there as well. I gave him a hug, and I said, what's going on, man? He had no support. He won the Republican nomination because he worked hard and he had great ideas, and he showed his heart. I'm not an established candidate as it relates to D.C. I was a disruptor in Florida, and I'll be a disruptor in Washington, D.C. as well. The fact that I have experience in governing successfully in a swing state should be a virtue, not a vice.
So there's Jeb Bush. He's going to emulate the McCain campaign. He's going to hang in there. He's going to be tough, and he's going to have big heart. That's what McCain had, and that's what he's going to do. He's just going to outlast everybody, and everybody's going to figure out what a big disruptor he was. And when they find that out, then they're going to associate him with an outsider, not the insider that people think he is. So that's the strategery.